Hello there, Speedy Blores. It is I, Blue Blue Sonic. That's with another person. His name is Dylan. Hi, Dylan. What's up, man?
Hey man, this is Dylan Night Owl, and I'm here to talk about our Sonic lore master, our Lord and Savior, the man himself, CyberShell.
Yeah. So, if you don't know who CyberShell is, what the fuck are you doing on the internet? Just kidding. Just kidding. If you don't know who CyberShell is, he is basically one of the OG Sonic YouTubers, and he's one of the really, really, really old ones.
Yeah, he's been around since 2008. Yeah, 2008. And then on into 2017. With a small break in between. Well, not a small break, a decent sized break in between.
He took a 9-year break.
Yes, that's right. 9-year break. In between then, in the beginning, he used to be doing Let's Plays at the very beginning of his channel, back even before Let's Plays were like super big and popular. Which I guess you'd call like the PewDiePie era of Let's Plays. It was before that. And then after the 9-year break, he came back kind of out of nowhere in 2017 with his infamous Sonic 2 bonus video, which is a video he promised 9 years before, because he made a Sonic... Basically, the way he did it is he did a Let's Play of Sonic 1, and then he'd do a bonus video. It was kind of like a little bit of a history lesson of all like the random Sonic lore he knows. And after he did Sonic 2, he promised he was going to do that as well, and he never got around to it until 9 years later, and he's basically kickstarted his channel all over again with that Sonic 2 bonus video.
Yeah, and he has been making a lot of videos. He has been making like how Sonic made me question my sanity video, top 10 Sonics video, and all that videos. Anyway, so and then the infamous video came up. Okay, first of all, let's do a little recap of Mr. CyberShell and how he was born. So go ahead, Mr. Didn't the Night Owl, tell us how Mr. CyberShell was born.
Well, essentially, it all started, like, you mean like, from the very beginning, right?
From the very beginning, yes.
Alright, well, essentially, like I said, he started off as a Let's Play channel in, I believe he started exactly on 2008. I'm actually going to go and reference this real quick. I'm going to go to his channel to be extra sure of the dates. But essentially, he started his channel around 2006. Was that when? Okay, so that makes a lot more sense. So yeah.
So a year after YouTube was created, that's fucking insane.
Yeah, so basically he's been around since pretty much the beginning of YouTube. One of the very first Sonic YouTubers, you could even say, actually. Which is pretty cool. And essentially from there, his Let's Plays even back then, it's really cool looking at them now. Because you think, Let's Play from fucking 10 years ago, you think, this is gonna be like shitty video quality, and you know, it is like an older, 480p video, but he actually did stuff that was kind of revolutionary for the time. Like, he had an introduction to all his videos. He had some editing skills outside of just like recording the game. He actually gave lore. Like, every time he went into a new level, he'd like talk about the badniks, give them their names, and he'd even have like a tier over how annoying they are. So a lot of like little things that kind of made, even back then, his sense of humor and channel kind of was a thing of his own. There's a reason he got popular. It wasn't just because he made Sonic Let's Plays. He had a clear sense of personality even then.
And it's a clear sense of humor.
Yes, exactly.
And one of the best profile pictures of the world. Like, look at that. Look at that Sonic. Please don't tell me that's not.
I know his icon is truly iconic. if you weren't attracted to anything you've heard so far, just look at that profile picture, and I know that'll be enough.
Yeah, that'll be enough. Anyway, so after the 9-year break, he made a little video called Sonic 2 bonus video, as we stated earlier. And then after that, he made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9. He made 9 videos.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And after he made those 9 videos, he made the infamous video.
Yes, the infamous video.
I'm sorry you're gonna have to talk about this, guys. I'm sorry, CyberShell, for watching this. You're gonna kill us. But yeah, the video that we're talking about is called CyberShell.
Yes. And needless to say,
after the CyberShell video, it started at the beginning of the end.
Yes.
So go ahead, Dylan.
Essentially, a shortened down version of this video is basically over these, like we said, after the Sonic 2 bonus video, he'd been making consistent content after that, several of which got a ton of views, like a good example being the top 10 Sonics videos, which currently has 3.2 million views. But so he's been growing his channel pretty quickly, and so this CyberShell video was essentially his kind of call to action, if you will, saying, hey guys, I'm doing a Patreon. And in this video, he made several promises, one of which being, there's several, like he kind of gave examples of all the content he wanted to do, like he was going to review the Sonic cartoons, and all the upcoming Sonic games, which at the time was like a lot. Sonic Forces wasn't even out yet. I don't even think Mania wasn't even out yet by then. So there's a lot to look forward to.
Yeah. So basically, he promised to play every single Sonic game, except for 06.
Yeah.
Yeah, and basically he made it clear in the video that he won't be playing he won't be playing Sonic 06. He made it clear that he won't be playing it.
Yeah. And then he also made another promise. It was kind of a joke, but he says, something along the lines of, I'm not going to be one of those guys who makes less content once I start getting money in from you guys. Which, again, is pretty kind of, it's funny and kind of sad, with the context we have now. Because if you look at his channel after the CyberShell video, there is, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 videos he made after that, and then that was it.
If you're asking why that was it, I'm sorry to say, but there is no answer.
There really isn't. There's several theories, and if you might be aware, I made a video on this, and basically one of the things I did was I went through several of the theories, and a lot of them have just plain out been proven wrong at this point. But I didn't know the full context of any of them, and I've since had even some contact with some of the people regarding it. But essentially, it all boils down to we still have no clue what actually happened to CyberShell. We can only make some logical guesses, and that's about it.
Yeah. So today we're going to be talking about that. Anyway, so the first guess that people came up in mind. Alright, so in the CyberShell video, like we said earlier, we mentioned a Patreon.
Mm-hmm.
People went insane with the amount of donations they were giving in, and after the sixth video, he gained over $700 a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we are not joking. A week.
It was. He was getting quite a ton, and by the way, from day one, he was literally getting if you actually look up the statistics of like how the channel grew, I had a link in my channel description. I need to look at the what that was, but there's a website you can actually see people's Patreon growth. Day one, he was making 800.
Yeah.
And at one point, at its highest, it was over 1,000.
Yeah, so the amount of money he made today is $3,000. And when he got the money, he booked it. He straight up booked it. And the second theory is he might be dead.
Right.
And that was actually disconfirmed because they managed to get in contact with his mom, and she disconfirmed that immediately.
Mm-hmm.
The third like the theory is we think that he straight up booked it because of computer issues. His computer, he might have lost some files, he might have lost some shit.
Mm.
And back to the first reason why people thought he was dead. People were scared for him, and when people thought he was dead, it was actually confirmed by the first week because they saw some activity on his Steam account.
Mm-hmm.
He was playing Sonic Generations. I mean, I don't blame him.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, basically.
Yeah, and basically, the death theory just doesn't really. It's pretty much all but in disconfirmed at this point. Which again just leaves us with basically two facts. One, for whatever reason, he's gone. Yeah, he left. And exactly, he just completely booked it out of here. And so then there's kind of the question of why. Why did he book it? And that, you know, we have like the theory with he could have had computer issues, but I mean, one would hope that if that were the case, like maybe unless he just like was completely dismotivated at that point, like he'd find some way to communicate that. But yeah, so there's that. There's also the theory, which is what a lot of people, as they start getting angry at him, especially anybody who like was paying, like, you know, donating to him. Some people thought that it was all just a scam, like he just completely, you know, took the money and ran. And
yeah.
I could see why people could come to that conclusion. And
people like Dylan Thomas did state that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Dylan, before you choke me to death, because I know he will. Dylan, before you choke me to death, you didn't actually, you only mentioned the money theft. You didn't actually start going to conclusions and shit. People just started like throwing in some bullshit like, he died. He took the money. But anyway, sorry, but seriously though, okay. So there were 3 conclusions. First conclusion, death. Second, money theft and ran. Third, computer issues, and then he decided to leave because he promised his fans a lot of stuff, but then his computer like exploded and lost a lot of files, or the files he had it goes to deleted, and the fans were screaming at him.
Mm.
But yet again, if he did lose the files, he can do streams.
Right.
And everything.
Exactly.
But he did state before that he lost the Shadow the Hedgehog gameplay footage, and he did stream on it.
Mm-hmm.
But then he stopped. The last game he played was Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And once he played Mania, he played Shadow the Hedgehog. And when he played Shadow the Hedgehog on stream, nothing.
Right. And see, that's kind of...
I mean, this is a bit off the topic, but he did upload one video before he left on with his dog, on his dog, on his video with his dog channel. I'm not joking. That's actually a thing. If you go to his channels, and there's a channel called Yorick 008.
Yeah. Yeah, and I actually, it's funny because when I made my video originally, I thought about having something to include that, but I never got around to doing that portion of it. But I did think that was kind of funny that he has a whole channel dedicated to his dog.
Good though.
But what I was gonna say is like, and I pointed this out before in my video, and I've had several conversations with people about this, is that while with like the money theft thing, while it's certainly in the possibility, the thing that holds me back from it, besides the fact that I don't personally see the guy, from what I've seen of CyberShell and what I know of him, I don't personally see that, but from a logical standpoint, it doesn't really follow through like what normally happens. Again, you can look at other cases where YouTubers have kind of scammed people from the Patreon money and then ran, essentially. And usually, they aren't so quick to just jump off boat. They aren't so quick to book it. What usually happens is they will keep making content even if it's super subpar, like, you know, like bottom of the barrel content, just to kind of have it there. So they'll keep getting that money in for as long as they can, until finally either A, people just get so tired of their crap they stop giving them money, or they eventually book it. A good example of that would actually, I'm not sure if you're familiar with a YouTuber Spoony. Well, yeah, basically Spoony is a YouTuber that kind of did a similar thing like that. And I know there's other cases. So again, if CyberShell was just doing it all for the money, if it was just a fraud, or even if it was like something at that point, it would make more sense for him to keep making content. Or have some kind of communication with us.
But before you guys say anything, like he doesn't want to record something with his camera, like shit. Well, that's what we thought. But if you go back to his old videos, like 11 years back, you will see something very interesting. He recorded a footage of his screen on Sonic 1, 2, and 3.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really an excuse anyway.
Right. So
CyberShell is a really complicated situation.
It is.
A really complicated. CyberShell is one of those people who, how can I say this? How can I say this without fucking cringing? CyberShell is one of these people who have this special case.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain this, man. Help here. There's some help here.
He's a special case in particular because, I guess the following he managed to get around himself is kind of a big thing. Like, everything about him is kind of abnormal. Like, you know, he made Sonic content, and it's not like that's, you know, that's, obviously there's an audience for that, but he was getting really big popular around that time. The money that was given to him on Patreon at the subscriber count he had is almost unheard of, to be honest. Unheard of. Normally, when you see like a YouTuber with around $1,000 in Patreon money, usually they're much bigger, like around 100 to 200,000 subs, and he wasn't even 100,000. So he had like this, and then on top of that, just he himself had this aura about him, and then you add the mystery of what happened to him on top of it. It is one of those cases where it's hard to describe how, if you're there in the moment when he was, you know, when he was uploading content, you know, you kind of understand it the best, and it's one of those things I find it almost difficult. I think you're kind of have the same way. Describe him, do it justice for new people who've never heard of him, or only have heard of him but haven't really, wasn't there at the time.
Yeah. And there was something else too. Alright. CyberShell also did one more thing. Alright. Earlier we did say that he took a 9-year break, but it was actually a joke. He took a 2-year break.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Then he came up with the Sonic 2 bonus video that he promised like 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, we're not joking. He promised the Sonic 2 bonus video 9 years ago. Nine to be specific.
Mm-hmm.
And then he started making good videos. Sonic CD Secrets, Knuckles Galaxy's fundamentally flawed, how Sonic made me question my sanity, Feral to the Sonic comic, which I really love, by the way.
Oh yes, that was actually the video that I discovered him through.
Yeah. Top 10 Sonics, how Mania is the real Sonic 4, which one was Sonic Mania came out.
Mm-hmm.
Why Sonic 4 sucks. Oh my god. The best way to play Sonic 3, most obscure Sonic game, and then the infamous video CyberShell. After he made this video CyberShell, he made 6 videos.
Mm-hmm.
Sonic the Hedgehog, the screensaver, Sonic Mania, who the hell are Bark Bean and Fang, Japanese Sonic versus American Sonic. Let's read the Sonic Bibbles, and the last video by him, Fleetway Sonic Overview.
Mm-hmm.
Those are all of the videos he made in the span of time. I'm not gonna mention the older videos under Sonic bonus video because they weren't as noticeable. I mean,
they weren't. They had elements, but they aren't what most people know CyberShell for. To be honest, from Sonic 2 bonus video on is where I feel like most people are familiar with CyberShell.
So we're gonna mention every single channel he has. CyberShell has okay. CyberShell has 5 channels. This madman has 5 channels.
Yep.
He has a CyberShell channel, CyberShell, CyberShell Knuckles, CyberShell, okay, Cyoa Shell. I don't know how to pronounce that. CYOA Shell.
Yeah.
Call him that.
Mm-hmm.
And
So,
Yorick
hey there,
008, which is his dog channel, which is apparently one of his main channels. So we're gonna mention that anyway. On the CyberShell channel, which is his main channel, which he uploads on, the CyberShell channel, he uploads like, I don't know.
You said CyberShell?
Yeah.
Basically, he described it as his shitpost channel.
Yeah, he uploads. Yeah. I mean, legit. He made a video called Purple Chat. What the fuck are you expecting from that?
Right, exactly.
But he did make a proper video. Top 10 Eggmans. Top 8 Eggmans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
CyberShell is a pretty interesting case because, again, shitpost channel. But I actually like the Purple Chow one is actually one of my favorite videos of his, just because of his delivery of the story is really funny.
Yeah.
And then
we have CyberShell and Knuckle. That is the stream highlights.
Yes.
Which he uploads some of his streams. Like, okay, he only uploaded some videos, but that was a year ago. And the last video on that channel, which is the last video for CyberShell in general, late night, out the edge, misery spree.
Yes. In which is Shadow the Hedgehog, the game.
Yep. And then we have
CyberShell or something like that. This one's not as important. Basically, it's like I think it's like it's kind of weird because I can't really get it to the only video uploaded to it is called Choose Your Own Let's Play, and it seemed like something he was doing back. That video was uploaded 10 years ago, It seemed like
Yeah.
something that was connected to his old Let's Plays. Like, I feel like it's a remnant of old YouTube where they had annotations, and you could click from one thing to the other. I think it was something along those lines.
Yeah, but that's gone now, so we can't really figure out anything.
Right.
Thanks, YouTube. You really helped us here. And his last channel, which doesn't have to do anything with Sonic, but we're gonna mention it anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's his dog channel.
Yep. Yorick 008, and yeah, it's exactly what it sounds like, or what we described. It's just videos of his dog.
Yeah. Dog Time Episode 1, Dog Time Episode 2, Dog Time Episode 3, Dog Time Episode 4, Dog Time Episode 5, Dog Time Episode 6, Dog Time Episode 7, Dog Time Episode 8, Dog Time Episode 9, which had a pixelated sprite for Mega Man. And Dog Time movie trailer, which I'm still excited about. Dog Time Season 2 Episode 1, Dog Time Episode Video Gaming Dog 2, and the last video on the channel, Dog Time Episode Dog. Episode Dog. Yeah. actually, that video is called Dog Time Episode Dog, because of the capitals for the thing. And that video was uploaded 5 years ago, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor Yorick. Whatever happened to that dog?
Yeah.
But yeah, those are all of CyberShell's channels. But yeah, back to the goddamn situation. CyberShell gained a lot of subscribers throughout the years. He started off really small as an OG channel. He is a really, really, really good Sonic player.
Mm-hmm.
He is a really good Sonic player. He is also one of the, if not the best Sonic gamers in the world.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, one of the saddest things with having him gone is because, like, I feel like with his videos, it's kind of two parts that were always enjoyable. One was like he did have a lot of Sonic lore that I personally had no idea about. I was like, oh, well, damn, that's pretty interesting. But then number two, it was actually his opinions and his personality was always really entertaining. It was kind of laid back, and funny at the same time. And it's one of those things that makes me wish he was still around, because there's so many things related to Sonic that I wish I could see his reaction on. The Sonic movie being one of them, for example. Sonic Forces as well, you know.
Will he ever come back? In 9 years, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. He will never come back because it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, he did say in one video that he makes some videos and then he goes offline for 9 years. I mean, so imagine if he comes back one day after 9 years, what's gonna happen? Like, that's what I'm concerned about. People will shout at him. People will call him a liar. People will call the police on him for money theft.
I feel like, if he seriously was 9 years, I feel like most people would probably be over it by that point. Only because, 9 years, a lot of things can happen. If I were to ask, like, randomly, what if he came back tomorrow? Like, what would the reaction be? I feel like it would be mixed between there's going to be people who are excited, and there are also going to be people who are going to be pretty pissed.
Yeah.
Notably, anyone who, sent him money on Patreon.
Yeah. Also you, Dylan. I know you're watching this video, man. Please don't be.
Yeah, I thought it was funny that the two videos that came out close around the same time, mine and his, and we're both named Dylan. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know they're gonna be irritated, and I think that might be what holds them back because, like if it weren't for the Patreon existing, if he had just disappeared and there was no Patreon involved,
And that would really clear his case a lot.
it would have. The fact that the Patreon exists and the fact that it's still up and everything, even though I don't think anyone's donating to it anymore.
The fact that the CyberShell video existed in the first place is mind-blowing. And, I mean, if he left at one point, why is his Patreon still up?
Right.
I mean, we're not talking to delete his channel. I mean, people will start watching his old videos. I mean, it's funny as shit. But why is his Patreon still up? He is not making any videos. He's not keeping his promise. Well, he did, but not even a quarter of it.
Right. Honestly, that's where things is. It's kind of like you gotta lead to your own conclusions at that point.
Yeah, but now people are gonna look at me and be like, "Hey, what about you, Sonic? Are you gonna do or you promised to play every single Sonic game?" Well, there's a big difference there. One, I did not ask you guys to pay me. I did not ask you guys to pay me to play. Number two, I really can't play with a Mac, and Steam doesn't really like, and Sonic games doesn't really like Mac, so they're not supportive of it. So.
Right. And see, that's kind of the thing, and that's, if anything, like I say, there's always a lesson to be learned from this. If you take nothing else away, remember this: everything is fun and games until money is involved. When money gets involved, then things get very complicated. And that's unfortunately where things are kind of ultimately may always be left off with CyberShell. Is, well, if he never comes back, we'll never know the full story, and so all people are left with are speculation about his motives, intentions, essentially what happened, and it's anyone's guess is as good as anyone else's at this point.
Well, here's interesting. 2 months ago, people caught him playing a game on Steam. It wasn't really confirmed what game, which we don't really care at this point. We're scared about him. People caught him playing a game. I mean, if he was smart enough, he would put his profile private and he can play any game he wants.
That's kind of, and see, that's one of the things I've wondered about for a long time with that Steam account, is if he wants to be hidden, why is that not private? I've always wondered that.
And a month ago, to be exact, you subscribed to Pad Mac. Because his subscription is not wrong.
Okay, so actually with this, I do have something interesting to note here. With Pat Mac, I actually had the honor of actually getting to talk to this guy not too long ago, and that was actually one of the things I said in my video, was that I thought, it looked like he had subscribed to him. Unfortunately, Pat Mac told me that CyberShell had subscribed to him back during 2017, during the time CyberShell was still active, and everything. So the YouTube subscription thing, at the very least, I don't know how much we can trust that or not. It seems really weird, because I thought that was new information and he had, just recently subscribed to it. But it made me so interested, I actually went ahead and tried to ask other people, like some of the other new subscribers I saw in there. I thought, are those new, or they've actually been subscribed for a while? Unfortunately, not a lot of them contacted me back, except for Pat Matt. But, yeah.
I'll try to get in contact with them. But yeah, those are all the informations we have. But there is a new conclusion that I came up with. It's a new one.
Shoot.
He might have got hacked.
Yes, that is certainly within a realm of possibility.
Here's the reason. Here's the reason why. Because why else would he leave his Patreon on?
Right.
His account might have got hacked, and the email the Patreon email got switched to the hacker's email, and all the money is going over to the hacker, not to CyberShell. And if that's truly the case, then why the hell is CyberShell's Steam account is not private?
Right. And see, this is kind of where, I guess, if I were to throw my hat into the ring, as a guess as to what might have happened, the only thing that I can come to that feels somewhat right to me is that outside of something crazy happening and we just don't know the full story, I feel like, again, just my theory, so don't just take it as a grain of salt, I feel like maybe something happened with him just kind of maybe being afraid of the fame and popularity. I know this sounds like, for some people, it's kind of unrelatable to a lot of people, and it's one of those things that, but I do know there are people who, like, the more popular they get, the more fame they get, the more it kind of eats at them, eats into their anxiety. And we don't know a lot about CyberShell personally, like, outside of his opinions on Sonic and a couple other things. We don't know, like, I guess you could say, how he feels about things as a, if you kind of get what I mean. And so I've wondered if maybe he just decided to leave at that point, get away from it, and maybe it started with him taking a break, like walking away from it for a bit, and then it was compounded because shortly after, he was not doxxed, but it was an effective dox, where it was, they got in contact with his mom. Maybe that spooked them, and you combine that with the feelings he might have been having before, maybe he just decided to walk away from it all.
So what you're saying is, he got scared of the fame, and when he tried to leave for a month, people were scared and they called his mom.
Mm-hmm.
But then when he heard that his mom was called, he got so scared he decided to leave it alone.
Yes, like it spooked them, because he is now, again, he seems to be kind of a private person with some stuff. I
mean, not with his dog.
Right? No, we definitely know of his dog and everything. But yeah, I could definitely see, him taking a break, and then people calling his mom, scaring the shit out of him, maybe, and so that might have basically made him want to walk away from it all at that point.
So we came up with 4 conclusions. And we'll leave it up to you guys to choose, or try to make your own video about this, or try to research it and contact us, or contact Dylan. You guys can contact me because I get a lot of messages.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can contact Dylan and he'll tell me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The 4 conclusions are: number 1, which is the really bad one, which is make him look like a bad person. Money theft.
Mm-hmm.
Taking the $3,000 and booking it, which is unlikely.
Mm-hmm.
Second reason, which is him being scared of people because of losing data, or losing important files from his computer, or his computer exploded or something. And the third reason is like I said before, he got hacked, and he can't get back into his channel. He already has 5 channels, so he doesn't want to restart. And this channel was 12 years old. How old was his channel?
Let's see. I know his first video came out 10 years ago. So if you want to count by then.
11 years ago.
11 years ago. His channel was in 2006. He first joined March 23rd, 2006. So.
But he hasn't uploaded anything. We're just watching videos.
Right.
You guys can count whatever you want. We're gonna count the 2006, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. But yeah, he started uploading 11 years ago, but he made it. So he doesn't really want to restart because his channel was really old and it means so much to him. So he just booked it and left. Decided to leave it all. And the fourth and final reason, there's the fifth reason, because death, we already just confirmed that. There's no way of him dying.
Mm-hmm.
And his own mom just confirmed that too.
Yep.
Anyway, fourth reason, which is Dylan's reason, so go ahead, Dylan.
Yeah, fourth reason would be something anxiety related, with him not, being kind of afraid of all the fame and popularity, compounded with people contacting his mom, scaring him, and then that's the reason he decided to leave it all.
Plus depression.
Yes, that's also a case as well. Depression could have... I mean, when we get into that part of it, you never know what could have, it could have been depression, anxiety, fear. It could have been a combination of all those things, but,
Yeah. So, that's all we have for the CyberShell. What are we going to call this video? CyberShell breaks through its shell.
Yeah.
I don't know what to call this video.
Maybe just CyberShell chat. Just the CyberShell chat. Just kind of discussing it. And by the way, just real quick, I forgot the
title. I figured out the perfect title.
Oh, yes?
How CyberShell made me question my sanity.
Ah, that's perfect. That's perfect. We're gonna do that. And real quick, I did want to do this because I forgot I wanted to do this in this video. So you have an exclusive little thing, because other than a comment on my video, I have it pinned, but I figured I'd just say this real quick regarding my other video. If you ever happen to look at that from coming over this channel, couple things. Number one, in my video, I talk about this guy called Siva Gunner, and how CyberShell. I thought that maybe he posted art to that. That was proven fake. It was just a troll. So that's one thing.
Yeah.
Number two. Okay. I guess with number two, we kind of already talked about it. There really was a conversation with his mom, because I actually wasn't sure at the time of making that video. But yeah, it's been completely confirmed. I've even had the opportunity to talk with the person who actually contacted his mom. And he regrets doing it, because now he's afraid he could have been part of the reason why CyberShell didn't come back. But yeah, nonetheless, if whatever you've heard about it, I didn't get a lot of new information from it. Essentially, his mom was like, "Oh, I'll contact them, and I'll see." She was confused about, as well, but confirmed that he was just fine though. I also said before with the PatMac thing, that he had subscribed to PatMac back in 2017, and yeah, that's basically it. From this onward, it's like Sonic here said,
it's like a loop.
Yeah.
When you arrive to this point, because we arrived to the max. This is the max. We can't go any further, because we would be assuming things, and we're just giving the information we already have and confirm.
Exactly. If
we're not just pulling stuff out of our asses over here. We're just
exactly, we're just talking about the information that's widely available. Some information that we've gained here and there over this span of time, and just basically talk about some conclusions that can come from it. And you had said too, if anyone has any other new information, feel free to contact either one of us about it.
Mostly Dylan, because I have my DMs off and I don't really accept friend requests anymore.
Sure. Yeah, I was gonna say you're a way bigger YouTuber than I am at this point, so I could definitely see. So yeah, I have the free time, and I'd obviously let you know if I get any information. So yeah.
All right.
I guess at this point, any closing statement you have to say? Any final note?
Yeah, I have a final note. CyberShell, if you're watching this video, which is most likely no, most definitely no. But CyberShell, if you are watching this video, what the hell are you doing, man? Like, whatever the reasons are, what the hell, man? Like, if you're leaving, what can you just tell us, dude? We're not gonna harass you for it. Next time you're gonna have to leave or take, you can use the community tab to tell your fans and not be making worry about you, because people find ways to get in contact with you anyway. There's a guy who called your mom. So, man, what the hell? I'm really disappointed, man. So, what I suggest you to do, man, is basically come back, make an apology video, and finish the promise you made to the thousands of people who subscribe to your channel and the one who donated to you, especially the ones who donated to you.
Yeah, and on that note, I'd also recommend, even though there's literally, I don't think anyone's donating to it anymore, I'd very much recommend just closing off the Patreon at this point.
Yeah, you should really close off the Patreon, because it will make people feel more suspicious. But if you guys arrived at this point, and if CyberShell you've been watching, please, for the love of God, make sure to just come back, make an apology video, keep your promise to the fans that cares about you, and
Yeah.
That's basically all we have to say. What about you? Do you have a final note, a message for Mr. CyberShell?
Final note, essentially pretty similar to what you said. I agree with everything you said, and then the additional note, I feel like, there's going to be people who are angry, of course. There are also going to be people who are going to be supportive and wanting to see more content from you. And also, just as a little note to everyone who is watching this, I guess take this as a important lesson as well, that if you want to be a content creator, be it YouTuber or anything else, if you
get a little bit famous,
yes, if you get a little famous, if you start a Patreon, okay, I should say, before you start a Patreon, please make sure you know for sure that you're gonna,
that you're gonna keep your promise.
Yes, that you can keep your promises and you can do it. Because if there's a doubt in your mind, if there's a strong doubt, just don't do it. You're not ready. Don't do it. Always wait on that, and because when you are ready, that's whenever you're, it's worth doing. But otherwise, don't do it.
Yeah. But before we finish off, for all of you content creators out there, and new content creators, because I know many people will start making content. Please make sure. Please, okay, just make sure you know what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you get a little bit famous, don't get the thing get to your head, and don't get the anxiety kill you. It's like fourth conclusion that Dylan came up with.
Mm-hmm.
Fame is not really something to be okay. Even if you get famous, you're still a normal person. You're not a
Yes.
super. You don't have any superpowers. The only thing you have is a monitor and a mouse and a keyboard. And
Yeah.
what you're doing is editing a video.
Yeah.
Simple video. Providing content for fans. And keeping a promise is a part of that.
Mm-hmm.
YouTube is basically a job for people to is basically a community for people to have. I mean, YouTube ruined itself by determining these small channels, but that's a completely other story by itself.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, CyberShell, if you're ever watching this video, come back, make an apology video, finish the series, and when you want to quit, just make a video of you telling people that you're going to quit.
Yeah.
Because you can't just leave without a warning. Because what you did is really messed up. Because what you did, you made a video about a page. I'm really holding my hand right now with fingers. All right. So what you did, number one, you made a video about a Patreon. People subscribed to your Patreon and donated to you. People followed you and were waiting for the promise. You didn't even arrive to make half of the promise. Only like made 3 videos about the game, and if you count about games, and if you count the comics, which is I'm going to count, but he only made one video about the comic, and I'm not gonna count the older video about the Archie comics, which because it came out before the CyberShell video.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to you if you want to count that already. As for me, I'm not really gonna count it because it didn't really go full on depth for RG Sonic. Because if he did, he would tell you how OP he is, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Basically, the conclusion is CyberShell. If you want to leave next time, because you are so coming back. No, I'm not gonna force you, but what the right thing to do right now to get the stress off your chest, come back, make a video make an apology video, finish what you promised your fans and the ones who donated to you, and then you can make one final statement. It's like Cabana 9456 did. Cabana 9456 did not leave without a warning. He made a post on his community tab telling people that he's going to leave.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't want to make a video about you leaving, then make a statement. The community tab exists for a reason, for you to talk to your fans. So come back, make an apology video, finish the series, and either make a video about you leaving, or make a community tab post, or post it on Twitter. Yeah, that's all you have. That's like a. But seriously though, yeah.
Yeah.
That's basically all we have.
Yeah.
To say.
So on that note, I guess thank you for having me on here, man. If any of you guys are interested in checking out my channel, I'm Dylan Night Owl, and yeah.
Yeah, that's basically it.
See you guys around.
I'll see you guys in a flash. Always stay fast and eat some chili dogs. Rest in peace, CyberShell.
Rest in peace.